Hey guys, what's up? It's your boy T for 365 Horror, and this is a horror movie discovery channel. I am just here to put as many horror movies on your watch list as possible, and we're going to be looking at some brand new horror streaming releases for the week of January 19th, plus getting into my trailer reactions. So let's get into it right now. Now we're going to get into the video, but before we do, I've got to remind you guys to please like and subscribe. And I really hope that my time management is much better this week. Like I said, I am dedicated to 2 videos a week. And last week, they both released on Sunday because I put it off and I was tired one day and I fell asleep. And it was just a comedy of errors. So this week, I think I'm going to do a lot better. I think I'm going to hit my times. So I'm happy about that. Plus, it is a big sports weekend for me. UFC tomorrow. I'm a UFC guy. I do like it. And then on Sunday, football, my team, Seattle Seahawks, they are in the championship game versus the LA Rams, and whoever wins goes to the Super Bowl. So you know I am not trying to be editing videos during that game. So I'm happy. I think that I've done much better this week, so let's get right into it. So the first thing we're going to do, as usual, is we're going to get into some movies I watched. And the first movie I watched was 1978, and I thought that this movie was going to be a lot more brutal. Some of the torture scenes, they don't go through the entire movie, but some of them do hit a little bit hard. I would never want to be waterboarded. I just thought the movie was going to be a lot more brutal. I will say this, the performances were good. The captors, the torturers, they actually had a real slimy demeanor and they were cruel, and it was good. But again, they just really didn't push the film far enough for me. And I did like the fact that it goes somewhere that I really did not expect this film to go. So that is a plus. If you're well, dude, I don't want to just watch torture and pain and gore, then it might actually be redeeming for you, because it does have a little bit of a plot and story that does go somewhere other than just a torture porn, right? So that was kind of good, but it did just drag and kind of got a little bit boring at the end. So overall, I would say that this movie was just okay. And the next movie I watched this week was The Confession, and I thought that the movie was watchable. It was all right. It had some minor creeps and scares, but I didn't get the true kind of squeamish feel that I was hoping for, because unfortunately the rats, they just had a little bit of a CGI look. And overall, this movie is just very cliche. You almost know what's coming up. It's it's just a very cliche movie that goes all the places you think it would go. The rats weren't squeamish. I mean, again, minor creeps and just watchable. And the last movie I watched this week was Self-Help, because I did want to go back and I did want to watch that after the Wilderness Tapes was kind of a bunky choice. And this one also was just watchable. It wasn't really that great. What I did like is it had a good kind of raunchy humor. And again, it did kind of push that envelope, but the story just felt very hokey. And honestly, the movie does kind of try to go somewhere by the end of it. And it does try to do something just a little bit profound. But honestly, by the end of the movie, I just didn't care anymore. You know what I mean? I was just over the movie by then. Like I said, super cliche. So it just felt a little bit boring. So again, if you do like raunchy comedies and you have some good cheap access to the movie, it's watchable at best. But let's go ahead and get into some new stuff. The first movie we're going to cover this week is a straight horror named Savage Flowers. And this movie is available on the usual VOD channels of Google Play, Apple TV, and Prime Video, but it's also free on Screenbox. Set in an infected world where the children are carriers, a young orphan finds sanctuary in a ramshackle foster home. But she soon discovers that it's not the world outside she should fear, it's the girls she's inside with. It is directed by Brad Watson. Okay, so after watching the trailer for Strange Flowers, this one looks like an interesting dystopian horror. Now, for starters, I really like the premise for this one because thinking of a future where the children are like carriers of some kind of disease, not only does it build a really good mystery, but it already kind of pulls me in and intrigues me to wonder exactly what's going on. And I also like the setting for this one because it's unique as well. It's set inside of like a girls' orphanage, which is just different, right? And I really like orphanage settings because I find that you just get a good kind of potential for some like disturbing behavior, not only amongst the girls, but amongst the caretakers of the kids in said orphanages. And it just looks like it could get dark and disturbing. Now, the one thing I will say is, look, I get it. The setting and the fact that it's like a girls' orphanage and just the whole kind of trappings, I could see why this movie might not be for everyone. Now, that being said, I'm still kind of into the movie because I think it's the type of film that isn't like afraid to show like tragedy and really like kind of lean into that, foster kid cruelty. And because of that, I think I'm still going to give this film an actual chance, and Savage Flowers is going to get a regular spot on my watch list.
We're safe here, aren't we? You're a filthy little carrier.
That's it. I'm officially bored. Can we play a game or something?
Next movie we're going to take a look at is a straight horror named Mother of Flies, and this movie is available on Shudder. When a young woman faces a deadly diagnosis, she seeks dark magic from a witch in the woods, but every cure has costs. It is directed by John and Zelda Adams and Toby Poser. Okay, so after watching the trailer for Mother of Flies, this one looks like a solid folk witch horror. Now, right out of the gate, one of the things that really did pull me in about this one was the imagery. It just has that really kind of dark, kind of weird, disturbing, Ring-esque type imagery where you get like flies and maggots inside of mouths and just some generally kind of unsettling stuff. And just when we get into the trailer alone, this thing really looks like it's packing some of that disturbing imagery and just some like pretty good gore in spades, and just will give us the type of stuff that looks like it will really crawl under our skin. Also, one of the impressions that I got from the trailer that I was excited about is that it almost has this Robert Eggers kind of tone to it, where it's just kind of weird and oppressive. I don't know really how to describe it, but movies like The Witch, where it's just kind of slow and deliberate and sepia toned. Like, I don't know if it has a bunch of sepia tone in it, but just that kind of feel, it does excite me a bit. So overall, I think Mother of Flies looks legitimately pretty good and creepy, and it kind of contains all of those disturbing, gory visuals that I'm always trying to chase. So I think this one's going to get a higher priority on my watch list.
Life is rhythm. The heart, the drum. But death knows only silence.
I want to do this. I know it sounds like a scam. I doubt it will even work. But I gotta try.
Next film we're going to take a look at is a horror thriller named He's Watching You. And this movie is available on Apple TV and Prime Video.
Something is happening in this town. Why is no one allowed to talk about it?
A teenager investigating mysterious murders in his small town discovers a collection of VHS tapes that could reveal the identity of a notorious serial killer. It is directed by Jordan Foss. Okay, so after watching the trailer for He's Watching You, this one looks like it could be a little bit of a mid-tier slasher. Now, honestly, out of the gate, this trailer really did check all the right boxes. You have like a menacing killer, you've got my usual love of a circle of friends cast, and a lineup of what looks like could be some pretty good brutal kills. Now, when you're watching the trailer, those are the core ingredients that you feel, and they all work. Now, if everything kind of checks the boxes and works for the film, you're probably wondering, well, then why does it land at kind of mid? And the honest reason why is because there's just nothing new here. It's just such familiar territory that I really think that this movie is going to live and die on exactly how it executes those basics. And the execution didn't exactly look horrible in the trailer, so I think if they could nail the kills and the tension in this one really could work. So I think I'm going to give this one a chance and give it a regular spot on my watch list.
Cameron, I really think you need some help.
Lily Gotch, Ronnie Gibbs, Patrick Knight, Brandon Lorne, Adria Reed, Hannah Langford, Andy Claymore.
Next movie we're going to take a look at is a horror thriller named Ted Bundy, and this movie is available on Prime Video. Following an exhaustive search, documentary filmmaker Sasha locates Catherine, who compellingly claims to be an undiscovered victim of Ted Bundy. After her crew is brutally killed and no evidence is left behind to prove her claims to law enforcement, Sasha and a rogue cop set out to stop the unpredictable terror and slaughter that has been unleashed. It is directed by Michael Friedanelli. Okay, so after watching the trailer for Ted Bundy, this one looks like a subpar to middle-of-the-road slasher. And the one thing that stood out to me right away, which could be good because it is a little bit interesting, is I like this unique angle that they're taking on the serial killer Ted Bundy. I mean, making him into like a slasher villain that wears a bunny mask. I don't know. It just could be interesting and different. And there is one good kind of blood-soaked moment in the trailer, so maybe, just maybe, we could get something that's brutal and gory. But honestly, other than that, I feel like everything else in this one just feels very B-movie. Like the acting felt wooden and stiff, and overall I felt like it just looked a little bit meh. But hey, I know there's some people out there that really love these B-movies, so if you're actually like really into this aesthetic, there could be something here for you. Overall, I think that Ted Bundy looks kind of forgettable, but it's not a complete throwaway because it could deliver us a couple of kills. So this one's going to get a lower priority on my watch list.
It was 1975 in Utah. I mean, there were a few girls that went missing, but nobody was talking serial killer on the loose.
I'm Ted, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Ted.
I knew I was pregnant with Ted Bundy's child.
All right, guys, last movie we're going to take a look at this week is a straight horror named VHS Summer Camp. And this movie is available on Prime Video. This film is the story of a group of teens hired to clean up a summer camp, only to uncover a haunted VHS tape that predicts their deaths. It is directed by James Pinard. Okay, so after watching the trailer for VHS Summer Camp, this one looks like a mid-tier supernatural slasher. Now let me start with what worked, because I did like the fact that this is a cursed item horror. I love those VHS tapes, very Ring-esque, and when done right, they really can be creepy. I also thought that for a B movie that the production quality on this one definitely stood out. Like this is a very clean, crisp movie. And it's also got that Circle of Friends vibe that I really like. So you know we could get some interesting personality clashes. Now, I did think that the acting for this one wasn't bad, but you're definitely getting, again, just that B-movie aesthetic, which could work if they kind of lean into it, because it has a very nostalgic 80s slasher feel. Now, that said, I do wish that the trailer showed more, just something that kind of gave me a little bit more of an indication that we were going to get some more blood or some more creeps. Like, nothing just really stood out and really pushed this one over the edge. As it stands, I think that VHS Summer Camp looks like kind of a little bit of a like watch it in a pinch kind of horror movie. So I think this one's going to get a lower spot on my watch list.
What kind of tape?
VHS tape, but this wasn't a movie.
What was it?
Some people say that you can see glimpses of the future on recorded devices like a VHS tape.
Well, guys, that's going to do it for another episode of brand new releases for you guys to watch and stream. I hope you enjoyed this content, and if you did find a couple of gems for your watch list, please leave me a like and subscribe. Now, if I had to make a couple of picks this week, the first movie I think I have to pick is just Mother of Flies. It just looks so dark and gory and creepy. It's got a really good kind of skin crawly feel with just disturbing imagery from tons of dead kind of bodies to maggots, again, flies. Like, it just looks like the type of movie that you're just wincing and grimacing the entire time. I love it. It looks good. Plus, I really like the kind of witch setting and just the interaction of the characters. Like, again, it's got a little bit of a art house feel to some of the scenes, but I think that's going to add to it. I think it's just going to be a pretty dark and disturbing movie, and that's my first pick of the week. And my second pick of the week is going to be a little bit unconventional because I know with the setting and stuff, you might think that I'm kind of weird, but I think I'm going to go with Savage Flowers. I just think it looks like it's one of those stories that's going to have a lot of like orphanage cruelty in it. And when you mix that with, again, a little bit of a circle of friends, you have the personality clashes. It looks like these girls are just really cruel to each other and newcomers. And then you also have like, I don't know, just this angle where it's kind of surrounding the fact that these kids are infected with something. So it's going to be interesting to see exactly like how isolated they have to be, what kind of threat they are. Is it all kids? Is it just this group of kids? So it already built up, like I said, just a little bit of a mystery to me to kind of wonder what's really going on. So that's going to be my second pick of the week. Well, guys, I'm out of here for real this time as I've got a ton of movies to watch. If you've made it this far into the video, thank you. I appreciate you. I hope you guys have been taking care of yourselves. And if you're into football, enjoy championship weekend. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.
They came begging, bent in shame.